Hello and welcome to Sword Butchery. My name is Michael and today we are going to be boning and rolling a shoulder of lamb. So on my other video I took the shoulder off, we just left it on the bone, so this one is going to be looking at the other side. We're going to take it off the bone once again, take those bones out and then completely roll it. So here we go. We've got our shoulder of lamb. We're going to first of all take these rib bones off. So I'm just going to spin it round and I'm just going to cut as close as I can to these rib bones. So following them down, keeping as tight as I can. We can go back and trim these up, don't over worry about it if it doesn't come out as neat as you hope. We can soon go back. All that meat in between those rib bones is great for burgers, mince, kebabs, anything like that. So following it down, then take these rib bones completely off. So there we go, left with our lamb. So we're now going to take that bit of paddywhack out again. We don't want that in there. So that can come out. Any other bits of trimming, we'll take this piece of fat out once again along this side here. So if you saw my other video, just the same as we did in that one. So that piece of corner fat can come out, and then we can also just remove a little bit of gland in the corner there. So there we go, that's our bit of trimming done. So we're now going to look at taking the bones out and then we're going to roll it up. So we're going to follow where this meat is here. Now this is a seam, there's a seam that follows the whole way down here. You can pretty much pull that piece of meat off there. So let's follow that down, using our knife just to tease the top bit and then ripping at it with our hands. So this is maybe a bit more advanced butchery really. But not to say that it's certainly not out the way of a home enthusiast. So following it down, we're onto a bit of blade bone there already. So, but don't worry about uncovering that blade bone just yet. We'll just keep cutting down, and then we don't want to take this flap completely off. We just want to leave it so it's just hanging still on there. So just till we feel the end of that bit of blade bone there. So I'm right on it there. So once I've done that, then I can go the other way. So now I am going tight onto that blade bone, following it along. This is cartilage here, so this is quite soft. So we just need to be careful that we're not going to cut through that. So, because that's quite easy to kind of take with it really. So, and then keep going. Sometimes people won't go far enough up here to uncover this bone, this joint here. If we can make it as easy for ourselves as possible by uncovering as much as possible. So the joint is there. So let's uncover this blade bone. Then once it's out, then I think it might make a bit more sense into the shape that it is. So I'm just following it round, following around the other side, just unpin that bit there. I'll then follow either side, follow the other side underneath, and then once I've got it loosened, then I can almost just rip it out now. So I can get underneath. There we go, I can give it a good pull. Hopefully it comes out nice and clean. From, and there we go, that's the blade bone out. So that was the shape. So blade bone's out. We can then, so we've got two more bones to take out. So we'll start off with this little foreshank bone. So I'm going to push down on there. There's a tendon that just holds that on, just at the top there. You don't have to cut through that, but I just find it helps just to straighten it out a bit. I'll then hold on to it like a handle, and then I can just follow down the side. Follow down the other side. And once again, if we have to cut into the shoulder a little bit to make it, so we're opening up that area then don't worry about it. That's no problem. We want it to look as neat as we can, but make it as easy for yourself as you can as well. So that means that we have to cut down a little bit more, and then we're looking for a joint between the two bones. So I found it there, and then I can just help to prise it and crack that bone away, and then just going to keep following it round, keep pushing on that meat, seeing where it's still attached, and then there we go. That's that little foreshank bone out. Now, still one last bone in there. We need to tunnel this bone out because we want to keep that intact. If you were just doing it for yourself, you could just cut down. It's not going to be the neatest job, but it's not going to affect the flavour massively. So we can just cut along the top. There's a little tendon that's holding everything in, that's inside there. So once we cut through there, that's going to make things a lot easier to then remove. Then once you think you're about halfway, so I've probably got more than half of it loosened there, I'll then switch to the other side. I'm just following it round, seeing where's still holding it, and then cutting down, and then there we go, that's that bone out there. So that's our completely boneless joint now. We've got a little bit of fat in there. If you're a fan of fat, once again, just for yourself, we can just leave that in. I'm just going to do a little bit of further trimming on that. Any other little bits that I think just need to be trimmed off, come out. A bit of fat there. So there we go. So that's our completely boneless shoulder. So I'm now just going to string this joint up. So just working the strings around the joint. I'm going to try and put the knot where the joint is to make it look as neat as possible. Keep working that string around. So this is just butcher's twine, lots of different colours. Blue tends to be for pork, but that's the only colour I have, so blue it is. I don't think that will affect the flavour. Green and white tends to be for lamb, and then red for beef. Strings on, trying to get them as straight as I can. So, there we go. So that's our shoulder joint. We could just square those edges up if we wanted to. If it's just a joint for yourself, just leave it like that, Full of flavour there. So I hope that helps. If it did, please give us a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.